Happy Monday, guys. Today is May 11th. This is for Math 1. And today we're going to continue looking at determining the multiplier, but in situations this time. Okay? So first thing I want to do is go over some terminology that you're going to need to know. So in word problems, when they mean increase, they could use any of these different words. So it could say appreciate, grow, augment, raise, mark up. Also, when you're doing taxes, all of those things are going to be increase. And then when it's decrease, they could use words like depreciate, reduces, drops, declines, loss, markdown, discount, any of those, or like a sale, any of those will be decrease. Okay, so look for those key words in the problem to know whether it's increasing or decreasing. Okay, so let's look at an example. We're going to find the multiplier. Okay, so here it says there's a 20% increase. So what I want you to think about, I pay the original, I'm just talking about money, but it doesn't matter. So I pay the original 100% of the item. Let's say the item is $4. I'm going to pay those $4. Now, it's been increased by 20%. So the 100% is the original. And it's been increased, so increase is adding by 20%. So then that would give me 120%. And then to find the multiplier, I'm going to turn this into a decimal. So whenever you want to turn a percent into a decimal, you can either think of it as 120 out of 100, because percents are always out of 100, percent, cent meaning 100. And then you can divide it. So if we do that, we get 1.2. Or you can also think, here's my decimal place here, and then I'm going to always move it twice. 1, 2. That's the same as dividing by 100. So my multiplier in this case is going to be 1.2. So that means that the cost of what I was going to pay originally is now going to be 1.2 times as much. Okay? Remember that the one part represents the original cost, and this is what's being added on. Let's look at another one. So this one says there's a 65% decrease. It's very similar. So I start with my 100% original. So this is my original, my 100%. That's whatever I started with, the total. And then I'm going to decrease. So instead of adding, I'm going to subtract. And it's decreasing by 65%. So then 100 minus 65% is 35%. And then to write that as a decimal, I would do 35 out of 100, which is 0.35. So my multiplier, which is also my B value, would be 0.35. Notice when I'm increasing, it's going to be more than 100. And when I'm decreasing, it's going to be less than 100. Okay, because 100 is where I'm starting. So if I decrease, I'm going down past 100. And then if I increase, I'm going up past 100. Let's look at a whole situation. Same thing, okay? Looking for only multiplier. All right, so it says Susie goes to Mexico with $1,500. That's the original. And spends 45% of her savings, okay? Now, in this case, since they only want the multiplier, the 1,500 doesn't mean anything to me right now. I have, again, 100% original. And if she's spending, then that means it's going to be subtract. And she's spending 45%. So 100 minus 45% is 55%. And then we write that as a decimal. So 55% is 55 over 100, which is the same as 0.55. So my B value or my multiplier is 0.55. And again, it's going to be less than 1 because this has to be less than 100% because it's decreasing. She's spending it. Okay? Let's look at one more. So it says Veronica's investment of a $1,300 increases by 3.5%. Okay. Again, the $1,300, since I'm only looking for the multiplier, this doesn't really matter. I'm going to start with my 100% original. And it's increasing by, so I'm going to put plus for increase, 3.5%. So then that gives me 103.5%. Then I just have to write that as a decimal. So that's 103.5 out of 100, remember? And then once you divide that, you're going to get 1.035 as your multiplier. So my B, or my multiplier, is 1.035. And again, it has to be greater than 1 because it's increasing. Okay? If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me through email, Remind, Google Classroom, whatever you need. Have a great day, guys.